Alright, hello. Welcome to my first proper live stream. In today's live stream, I'm going to be working on the Golden Throne. I've been building a diorama for about 3 years now, still not finished. So, I'm going to try and change that and do a bit more painting. I have quite a few skulls to do on this. It's probably a few hundred. As a pre-warning, this could be very boring, but it's a bit of a trial. It's like a peek behind the curtain. Right, let's do it. Let's do it. You're probably mainly going to be looking at me in shrimp mode, with my mouth wide open. That's kind of how I paint. Talking to myself. I have a feeling that I'll mainly be talking to myself, but that's not a problem. Alright, let's do some of these. What I'm trying to do with this as well is, because I painted the whole thing gold, or I undercoated all the gold, I'm trying to go in lightly with more gas bone. So I've watered it down quite a bit because I want a light coverage. I don't want to gunk up all the details because I'm going to have to go and paint all the highlights and stuff on this. So I want the layer to be nice and thin. I'm not looking forward to coming back in and picking out all the details with these, to be fair. Kind of dreading it. I did finally encourage myself to start working on it, because it's been quite a few. It's probably been a year since it's been done, but I haven't really had the courage to start painting it. Luckily, everything's turned out alright so far, so it's pretty good, since it is going to be the focal point of the diorama. Watering down the paint as well helps me not leave any texture on the skulls. God forbid. tend to get a little bit engrossed in this, so if I don't look at the screen for a while, or you ask a question, apologies if it doesn't get answered for a little while. Let's have a little look. Also, I don't know if I've set up my chat properly. This is amateur hour for me. So, I'm really sorry if I don't get it right. I can't see my chat. Cool. Bear with me. See, it's that bad that I have to look at the live stream on my phone. Oh, here we go. See, I haven't even set up the chat correctly. I'm useless. How am I planning to do the Emperor on the golden toilet? So, the idea that I have, Jesus, the idea that I have at the moment is I'm going to use pieces from the Rabute Gilliman kit, and I'm also going to use pieces from Abaddon, I think, because he's got some nice, he's got like a nice kind of black carapace suit underneath his armor, so I want to use that. And then I think what I'll do is probably take some green stuff to the Rabute head and maybe use that, because it's going to be the same sort of scale that I want for the Emperor. Yeah, but like from there, there's probably going to be a lot of wing in it. My dedication. I'm not sure whether it's like dedication or it's obsession at this point now. But to be honest, I'd probably like to speed it up a little bit, because I've been working on it for the best part of 3 years, and that's a lot of time, you know. And that means there's a lot of neglected miniatures that are in my back catalogue that at the moment are never going to get painted. So I'd like to paint some. I've got a Saturnine box that's already got a little bit of dust on it. But you know, before I can get to that, I've got to finish this. And I feel like this still has plenty of hours worth of time that needs to be sunk into it. Hey man, love seeing the progress on the project. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. There's plenty more to come. He says as he gets confused and doesn't know where the paint is. Again, apologies if I'm a little bit all over the place. Since it's my first stream, I'm kind of like, I'm not so used to talking to what feels like myself, even though there's, you know, you guys out there. So if I'm like bumbling around a little bit, I apologize. So something that's quite funny is getting used to multitasking. A lot of the time when I'm doing this, I'm just sat in dead silence, or, you know, listening to music, just solely focusing on this. So it might take a little bit of time to get used to talking, but I'm sure we'll get there. Ah, yes. See, so I think that's been brought up a couple of times now for, you know, potentially when it's finished, submitting it to White Dwarf. I would like to do that, but I feel like it's still like I've said before, quite a way off. In a day and age where, you know, we can print a lot of things now, I haven't actually got anything on it that's sort of 3D printed. I don't really know why I've been sort of steering away from it. I wonder if it's sort of me trying to make a challenge of just using parts from kits. But maybe at some stage I'm going to have to start using some printed bits, I think. Just for little gribblies that I can't get in kits. By the way, why do people say blood for the blood god like you would give the guy who literally owns all the blood more blood? It's like picking something someone already owns as a gift. I don't know. I think it's a bit of a joke. Well, obviously it's a joke. I think it's to do with, because I've got so many skulls on the bottom of the throne, that it's kind of you know, skulls and blood for the blood god. I guess it's a bit chaosy. And technically, it's not even my idea. It was John Blanche who decided to paint it with all the skulls. So I'm just following his lead. You need to speak to him. Bagels for the bagel god. Why not? Thanks, joke. I will keep pushing. I feel like I've committed to it now. I can't leave you guys hanging. I'm hoping it's going to feel like, you know, quite a nice accomplishment when I've got it as finished as it can be, and you know, show you guys all of it in its entirety. If I do another one of these, I'm definitely going to have to sort out the chat, because I'm reading it off my phone and I'm getting a little bit confused. I'm not really a tech guy. It took me about 5 hours to set this stuff up and figure out how to stream the camera to the laptop and everything. But it's done now, so second stream will be a lot easier. If you're working on anything yourself at the moment and you're just kind of doing a hobby hangout, let me know what you're working on. As long as it's not chaos. In one of the videos that I've done fairly recently, I talked about how with this diorama, a lot of the time before I start painting it, I need to dust it off, because in my sort of workspace, where it's sat for quite a long time, it needs regular dusting. And if you decide that you're going to just paint it straight away, you end up with this horrible texture on everything. So I kind of take the time beforehand to get a big brush and just go over it a few times. I learned that the hard way. I think I said that too. I wonder if it would be possible for you to do a collab with Zorpazorp, as they recently done Imperial Pass Wargaming Board. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I've actually been watching, I've watched Zorpazorp for quite a while, and his stuff is pretty damn awesome. It's huge though. He has a lot of space to work in, which means he can build some pretty magnificent stuff. But yeah, no, I'd love to work with Zorpazorp. He's very inspiring. Both him and Eric's Hobby Workshop, I watch a lot of. And I think that's kind of, those two creators almost sort of encouraged me to start documenting what I'm doing. they're definitely more seasoned than me when it comes to that. So, Comrade Chris, good morning. Starting your Chaos Dragon conversion. That sounds pretty cool. Is that was it? Do you call it fantasy anymore? Warhammer Fantasy? That's it. Fantasy Chaos, not 40k. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've been seeing a lot of older models get re-released for Warhammer Fantasy, which is cool. It hasn't quite persuaded me to get into it yet, but I feel like it's only a matter of time. What's the end game? The end game. I'm not entirely sure what the end game is, to be fair. I think what I'd like to do is maybe work with some other people in the community and do a battle report of some kind. Maybe something thematic. Other than that, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna sell it. I don't even know what I would ask for, to be fair. But I feel like quite a few of you guys have asked for a battle report, so once it's done, I think I'm gonna put the feelers out and see if we can get some guys to do a proper battle report for you guys. It's not gonna be me, because I don't play. And I'd just be bumbling, you know. You want someone who can give it a proper narrative spin. Also, thank you for tuning in. I thought I was going to be sat here just talking to myself, so it's quite a nice, pleasant surprise. Nice. Dark Elf Dragon as the base, green stuff on another neck. Attach at the wings, mark up Nurgle. Was that pieces you've got in your bits box, or did you do you know what you're working on in terms of, did you have like a list of pieces that you knew you were going to use? So I find a lot of the time when I'm doing something, I just kind of look through the bits box. I don't end up getting specific pieces I need. I just kind of dive in and go, sort of put it together on the fly, really. I busted. Do you play a lot then? See, I'm one of those people who doesn't play anything at all. I just feel like I don't have the time. You know, maybe at some stage it'd be nice to sit down and play a few games, but also learning the rules worries me a bit. By the time I've finished painting this, I think I'm going to have awful posture. It'll be like a shrimp man. You'll be able to recognize me at the hobby shop for sure. By the shape of my back. Double digits. I'm happy with that. Double digits for a first stream. I done a couple last year, I think, using my mobile phone as like just on a stand on the fly in the studio. It was terrible quality. I think I had about 2 people watching, so this is definitely a step up. 13 people. I'm impressed. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm genuinely impressed. it's definitely kind of cool just to hang with people as well while you're doing hobbying, because I don't have many friends who do the same hobby as me. Like a lot of my friends are into different sort of things, so to just kind of hang out and paint and chill and talk is quite nice. Just realised I spat on myself. Got too excited. That's what they call it, old world. Not fancy anymore, old world. Is that, so do you find that good? And like, is it the same as how it used to be, or have they changed it completely? Is it fun? That's the main question. I keep hearing that sort of the new Horus Heresy is a bit slow, maybe? It's not quite as good as the older edition. So it does make me wonder about the other games. I hope I'm not upsetting anyone with that comment, because I totally don't know. This is just what I hear online. I think yeah, see, I think that's really important. I think when you see other people painting and other people's passion for the hobby, I think it can be sort of a drive to work on your own stuff, because I mean, there is some really cool stuff out there, let's be fair. Again, like Eric's Hobby Workshop, the Titan, you know, that is very cool. That's like, yeah, up there, if not the best build at the moment. It's definitely going to be when it's finished. I also find that it's a little bit, or it can be a double-edged sword for some people, because when you look at Instagram, there's a lot of fantastic creators out there and fantastic painters, and I feel like sometimes it can go either way. Like you can see something that really inspires you to work on your own stuff, and then sometimes you see something that's so well painted that you can be a little bit put off. But as corny as it might sound, I feel like it's just, as long as you're having fun doing it, you know, it doesn't really matter. I think the importance is just having some fun with painting and hobbying and doing something you enjoy. How many custodians will be on duty? The project is so huge. So that's another good question. Realistically, what I'm hoping to do is 300. I don't know how crazy I'm going to go with the detail on them. I don't know whether it's going to be an edge highlight job or a dry brush sort of job. But yeah, ideally I'd like to have about 300. I feel like you could fit them all on there without it looking too over the top. I've actually got a few, and I've been really bad with this because these were made for me quite a while ago now. There's a chap on Instagram called The Shattered Legion, and he made me these using loads of different parts from Custodes kits, and I've been meaning to paint them up and sort of take some pictures of them on the board, but I just haven't yet, so I'm really sorry. But yeah, so I think we're going to go for about 300. Try them all. I think it's going to be a dry brush job, and the thing is, dry brushing has come quite far, so you can get like a really nice technique with dry brushing, and it saves you a lot of time. All of them with kit in charge, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet. I've kind of been tempted to print off some, are they called pilastodes, is it? I want to say pilastodes. I watched a few episodes of If the Emperor Had text-to-speech device, and I know that a lot of people have asked for some, like buff custodies. So, maybe I'll see if someone with a 3D printer can do that for me. For the lols, 300, wow. Yeah, see, it does seem like quite a lot, but I feel like thematically it'll work, and it'll just look good. It'll look a business. Let's be fair, I feel like the 300 custodies is probably not the mad part of this project. When you see the size, I think that's the mad part. A hidden Vindicator. I do need a hidden Vindicator. I also need a gene stealer somewhere, I think. Like just tucked away. Maybe a gene stealer somewhere and a little Nurgling, one of the sassy Nurglings. At some stage when it's done, I'd like to see if it can go to a convention of some kind, because I know that a lot of people would like to see it in person, and I feel like it might be a fun little game to stick a gene stealer in there, stick a Nurgling in there, and see who can find it first. I know they do that at Warhammer World, so stealing their idea. Team Fabulous, that's it. On Cults 3D, there is Custodes Blood Bowl team, and it's just the buff Custodes. Well, that might have to be something I look at then. I don't own a 3D printer, so I'll probably have to see if I can persuade someone to do that for me. But I feel like I can make that happen. I feel like if enough people want it, I can definitely make that happen. Concentrate. See, we've got mostly now, we've got the front and the right hand side complete. So we just have to do this one really. And then we can start shading them and adding some details. I'm thinking of investing in a close-up lens for this too. I feel like it's quite hard to show some of the detail with the camera I've got at the moment, because it's just got the it's got a basic lens on it. But I'd like to show you guys some of the detail that's gone into it. I don't think I'm going to try and attempt to, well, maybe I will. See if the camera will pick this up. Let's have a look. So, either side of the Golden Throne, there's these two little banners. I don't know if you can just about see them. Last week, probably spent about 2 hours, I think, cutting out some script transfers from the Sisters of Battle transfers and sticking them on either side of the parchments, just for that added bit of detail. They look really cool, but showing that kind of detail on the camera doesn't really work. And again, I'm sort of going overboard with the detail on this part because it is going to be the focal point of the board. So I want to make sure that everything is as good as it can be, even if it drives me insane. If you're wondering why it looks like I paint cack-handed, it's because I'm a lefty. I've always wanted to build a fancy chaos board. I'd have to build it in segments, and storing it would be the issue. Yeah, I think a lot of the time when it comes to sort of bigger builds, storing it is the main issue. From what I've seen on sort of Instagram, people tend to build things, at least for 40k, 40k and Necromunda, in modular sort of pieces that they can stack away in a cupboard or somewhere. So I feel like if you're going to do something, that's probably the way of doing it. Did I do that? No. I just built a huge board that is not easy to store and it takes up a room. Probably not the wisest decision. But when I started this project, I feel like I just wanted to get it off of the ground. And I didn't really think about the long-term plan for it. That's probably why no one would give me a job building scenery. I did make the wall sections for the diorama modular to a degree. They're in like 3 sections, so they can be stored a bit easier than the main section can. And also they can be transported a bit easier. Right, we're getting there. With this method, I did consider using some putty and trying to putty all the way around every skull so I could just spray them white and then use skeleton horde. But after trying to do it, I realized that it was probably going to take a lot of time and I'd need to be really accurate with the putty to stop any spray getting through. So I think what I just settled with was, going over them all with more gas. I mean, this method might take just as long, but I feel like I'm less likely to make a big mistake, touch wood, with this. Slowly but surely. Have a nice day, everyone. I hope you all are having a nice day wherever you are, whether you're starting the day or finishing it, whether you're just hobbying or tuning in out of curiosity. Those tables are loud AF. Which tables? Am I having a brain fart moment? Am I not understanding? 5 a.m. days. I do not envy you, Chris. 5 a.m. A lot of the time in the week I'm up at about 6, but 5 a.m. Yeah, fair play to you. It's funny that you say that, Chris. The realm of battle. Do you want to see something? Let's just say I bought something online for me. Nothing to do with the project at all. It's something that I'd wanted for quite a while. It came out like back in the early 2000s, I think. The price of them is a bit mad now, but I managed to find one for relatively cheap. You ready? Baba! What do we think this is? You can open it with me. I got it delivered today, and you can see I've half opened it. Couldn't really be bothered just before the stream started, so let's open it together and you can take a look. Tuning in for the first time. Thanks, Davey. It's nice to have some new faces. Did I break the scissors? No. I broke the scissors. Okay. We're gonna make a hack job of this. I can't believe that. That's crazy. How far along am I? In terms of a percentage, I want to say maybe just over halfway, because there is still so much painting to do. Like, most of the building is done. I think I'll probably still add a few little like gribblies here and there, but oh no, ignore that. But yeah, in terms of painting, there's still loads left to do. So I want to say like 55%. Throw that out there. Rip scissors, yeah. I can't, that's so bad. Right, let's try and get into it anyway. Let's see if we can. There we go. That was relatively easy. See, I'm going to try not to destroy anything here. Especially not that throne I've been working on for hours already. But yeah, it's funny, Chris, that you mention the realm of battle, because that's just what I got. Come on. Come on. It's not going to happen, is it? We're going to have to keep hacking away at it. How unprofessional. Watch me pull a bunch of faces as I try and open this. Thank you very much, Davey. It's definitely a larger undertaking than I kind of expected, as stupid as that might sound. I didn't think that when I started 3 years ago I would still be working on it. I don't know, I thought I'd be done by now, but I can't spend 24 hours working on it. I've only got a certain amount of time when I'm not working, when I'm not doing my boring job. You know, we're getting there. And I feel like sort of setting up live streams and doing some live streams will show you guys behind the curtain. Maybe we can make some decisions on things together. Milk. Hey man, just wanted to say that I can't wait to see how this project will look once it's finished. Any plans on how to populate it with custodies, tech priests, servitors and such? So we were just saying earlier, Milk, that I'm gonna try and put about 300 custodies in it, and there'll obviously be lots of tech priests. I want servo skulls, cherubs, and maybe some sort of like pilgrims, I guess. I've seen a really cool model that's in one of the Necromunda kits. He's like this, I want to say he's like a relic peddler or something. So I'm going to try and use models like that, I think, to populate it. The scissors could not withstand the awesome might of the Emperor's wrapping paper. Well, whoever wrapped this on eBay done a damn good job, because it's broken the scissors. But yeah, we're nearly in. Now I've just got to find, I don't know, like 5 more pieces, because I really want to make a board out of these too. I know, don't get distracted from the project at hand, but maybe as like a project after, or a second project. We build an imperial city. 300 custodies, god dang. The cherubs are absolutely essential, and don't forget to hide a sneaky Alpha Legionnaire. That's another good one actually, an Alpha Legionnaire. I want to put a Nurgling in there, and I want to put a Genestealer cult guy somewhere. But I think Alpha Legion too. I mean, the board is big enough. We could definitely hide those 3 in there and they wouldn't be obvious. So yeah, I'll make a note of that too, Alpha Legionnaire. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. There we go, that's another piece of scissors. Nearly there, boys. I know you guys have just been watching probably the last 10 minutes of me try and get into this. It's a bit pathetic. And if you're not interested in Realm of Battle boards, you're wasting your time. You came here for the throw-in and you're getting a guy opening Realm of Battle tiles. Come on. Hello Alexander, hello friends. How are we doing? You come just in time to see me struggle with this board. And get distracted from the skulls that I'm supposed to be painting. Oh, that was my finger now. So close. So close I can see it. Honestly, I cannot convey how well this is wrapped. Don't worry, that's not it breaking, that's just hitting the chair. You can probably see I'm getting a bit more brutal over here. I'm tired of opening. I want to go back to painting skulls. Alright, look at that. Come on. There we go. About time. Right, look at that. Look at that. It's huge. Whoops. I wasn't expecting it to be so big. I don't think I've seen these tiles up close before. But look at that. Another 5 of them would be a huge table. It's probably about I don't know. There's like 4 Zone Mortalis tiles, maybe? No. No, maybe not. But it's still pretty big. Alright. What period is it set in? Is the Emperor still alive? No. Essentially, that's the short answer, no. What I've done with this idea is I took inspiration from Neil Roberts' artwork. Look, I ripped the glove. I took inspiration from Neil Roberts' artwork for The End and the Death, where he sort of depicted the Emperor up on the golden throne. And what I wanted to do was kind of imagine it in the 41st millennium. So I wanted to keep the design similar, but make it a bit more grimdark, I guess. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is once this, I'm gonna put this down. Once this is painted, I'm gonna start building a dead emperor out of different bits and pieces and green stuff, and put him on the throne. But yeah, it's gonna be 41st millennium, so that's that. We've got Alexander. It's okay distracting myself from applying transfers to a tank. I know, it's kind of enjoyable, I think, putting transfers on things. It adds that nice level of detail, doesn't it? And I think it's really satisfying when when you start putting them on and you kind of see it coming together. So it's actually one of the areas of the hobby that I enjoy the most is transfers. I think before you joined, Alexander, I was telling everyone that I put some Sororitas transfers on the banners for either side of the throne. They don't come up so well on this camera, but that was really enjoyable. And I have a ton more to put on, so. Yeah, so clearly corn. It definitely, there's definitely some aspects of corn creeping in there, maybe. Could the Emperor be a 5th Chaos God? I don't know. Should I change my gloves? Yeah. 2 foot by 2 foot. They're designed to make a 6 by 4 foot table. Oh wow, that is pretty big. I still want to get the other pieces. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I have the studio space, and it's just all taken up by the throne. So even if I want to do another big project, I can't because I'm limited by space. Okay, I should probably get back to painting some skulls. So that's what we're going to do. I'm supposed to be showing you guys some progress, but I just got distracted by something that I ordered online. Unfortunately, you might see a fair bit of that if I continue to stream. I can get a bit distracted. I don't feel bad when it's distracted by other Warhammer related stuff, but you know, like when it's social media, I'm wasting a lot of my time. Why am I struggling to put a glove on? In front of 31 people? That's embarrassing. 31, it's jumped up. We had 13 people, maybe half an hour ago, so thank you for tuning in. This is my first proper stream, I guess, or first stream where I've set up a camera. Try to do a bit more professionally. I think you can see that the professional aspect of this is just, it's not there. Good evening, Ben. How are you doing? It's good to see you here. I know who you are, Ben. I know it's you. When they got released and Fantasy played 6 by 4 big boy tables for big boy games, I know they had the didn't they have like the ones with the hills on for the old world? They were quite cool as well, but if I remember rightly, they had like cracks in the ground and loads of skulls, and I thought that was a bit of a weird design. Like if I'd have got those boards, I probably would have just painted over it and put mud and sand and made it look normal. Alright, look, there we go. There we go. That's as good as it's gonna get. Take a sip of this. It's thirsty work. Trying to entertain 31 people. Okay, let's do some more painting. Shake cam. Hills and skulls, please. Hills and skull pits, that's it, skull pits. I I feel like it was such a weird design. Why would you just have loads and loads of skulls underneath? It was just an unhealthy amount of skulls. It was a corn amount of skulls. Oh, I'm using the wrong brush. Am I using the wrong brush? Yeah, I am. I got a... No. I got a fairly old brush and a new brush. And getting them mixed up. No, there is nothing in this. This is just Diet Coke. I don't need anything to get me through. I'm alright. We got milk. Skull pits on my chaos table would be extremely fitting. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it has its applications. It's just I didn't like how many skulls there were on that board. I just felt like it was a weird design choice. Milk. I mean, all those used up psychers got to be disposed somewhere. The Emperor needs his hearty salt breakfast. I can't argue with that. I definitely can't argue with that. It's something that I think about regularly is when it comes to the Golden Throne diorama, how I'm going to depict the pardon me, that's the Coke, how I'm going to depict the psychers. I think what I want to do is maybe, again, experiment with some 3D printing and see if I can get some withered looking corpse bits to stick in. No booze worse. No, I'm dry. No alcohol for me. Just the Coke. Brought to you by Diet Coke. It's not. As if I have to say that. Alright, skulls. Get distracted. I didn't think I would get distracted as much doing a live stream about painting skulls, but here we are. Warhammer equals skulls. I mean, it does, doesn't it? But let's be honest. Most like Imperial model, well, most every models, I guess, besides Eldar. Eldar doesn't really have much skull iconography on their stuff. But Chaos and the Imperials definitely have a load of skulls. But yeah, if you guys end up enjoying this stream, I'm gonna try and make an active effort to do a few more. Because now that I've got a proper setup, you know, I can stream properly. I think the only thing I need now is we're just running on the camera battery. So I think I need to get one of those ones that plugs into the wall so we can just stream for eternity. But yeah, if you enjoy it, I will do another one. To be fair, if I enjoy it, I might do another one because it's kind of nice just to sit around and chat. Chat and paint. What I'm going to end up doing with this now as well is once they've all had an initial coat, because the knights are drawing in. I know this sounds like I'm going off topic, but because the knights are drawing in, I'm not used to painting in artificial light. What I'm used to doing is sort of painting with the natural daylight. So I think what we'll do is, once I've given these all a coat, I'm going to have a look tomorrow and just check that I've got all the bits that I need, because I don't want any gold sort of protruding through. What have we got? Chris, I was dry for around 7 years, but heavily limit myself now. Well, I mean, I think that's very, very sensible. You know, we won't go into any of that stuff too deep when it comes to alcohol, but I think it's good. You know, I did used to drink too, but I think what I do now is I try and be healthy, I guess. So I've replaced my going to the pub with exercise. So yeah, that's where I get my dopamine from. Yeah, I think, you know, limiting yourself is good. Gives you more time to paint miniatures. So. Is there anything else you guys would like to see in the project as we move forward? I've had quite a few suggestions. So obviously, like I've said, we're going to have the Alpha Legion, Nurgling, and Gene Stealer guy. But do we have any thoughts for something that's missing? Because it's kind of cool to hear other people's ideas. And I've actually incorporated a few that have been suggested, which I didn't think of. So, yeah, your idea could be featured. I'm also getting stuck on bubble wrap. Look at that. Crazy packaging for one board. Primarchs on pillars. Primarchs on pillars. Now, it might have been you, Chris, or it might have been someone else, but I had someone who regularly suggested plinths with the Primarchs on, and I'm torn as to whether I think it's a good idea or whether I think that putting too much on the table is going to overshadow the throne, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to not take away from the focal point of the throne, and I feel like potentially having all the Primarchs in some sort of statue form might do that. So will Big E be on the throne, Ghost Rhino? Yes. So if you've just joined us, Ghost Rhino, we have talked about how once this throne is painted, I'm going to do a bit of a kit bash, I guess. Kit bash and green stuff, and we're gonna like bash out an emperor for the throne. I might end up streaming that, to be fair, but sometimes I feel like I need need just silence to focus. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can use and like what we can come up with for the actual emperor, because I feel like he's going to need to look a certain way. You know, it needs to be right. I don't want to wing that so much. Milk. The only thing that comes to mind is that super old painting of the Eternity Gate with the thousands of banners in front of it. Bit ambitious, but a few definitely won't hit. No, I think that is a very good point. I do want to add banners to this. Again, I'm not really sure how many, and I've had suggestions for potentially making it a community thing. So maybe you guys out there painting up a banner and sending it to a PO box, and we'll put it in the throne room. But I think that's a little bit away down the road yet, so we'll see about that. But yeah, you know, it's having a balance, isn't it? That picture as well of the Eternity Gate, that John Blanche depiction, is very cool, but there is a lot going on, and I'm not sure whether that will necessarily translate to miniature form. So I'm being a bit conservative with it. Ghost Rhino, that'll be sick. 30k or 40k skeleton? That's a good question. That is a very good question. The image I have in my mind at the moment is kind of a not quite skeletal, but severely withered emperor. Ooh, tongue twister. Severely weathered emperor. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe use Rabute Guilliman's head from the Guilliman kit, and you know, maybe cut his nose off and green stuff some you know, like a skeletal nose hole, and make him look just kind of withered. So yeah, you know, we'll see how we get on with that. Could put some pilgrims on the board. Absolutely, Chris. There's going to be pilgrims, custodes, you know, admech, servitors, pretty much all the grimdark you would expect. Owen, you could put a load of dust and say it's Malcador. I definitely could. Is it too soon for that? Is it too soon for that kind of humour? The throne's actually, well, something that I've put on it at the moment is I've used like pigment powders and stuff and liquid pigments, because I want it to be kind of like, I want the whole throne room not to be pristine, but again, like not full grimdark. I kind of want to you know, lean into the grimdark, but not have everything be absolutely trashed. I want it to seem like it's kind of maintained. So yeah, it's going to be dusty. It's going to be dusty. Lol, indeed. I did think, actually, now that you bring up sort of 30k or 40k, part of me thought I could get all the pieces that I've used for this and make another throne and just kind of have like one for 40k, one for 30k, but I don't think I can be bothered to do that. I'm not sure whether I want to go through the rigmarole of gluing every skull on again. Well, actually, I wouldn't have to glue the skulls on, would I? Because it would be 30k. But again, I'm not sure whether I can be bothered. Poor Malcador being stored in a shoebox behind the throne. I could have that as a little Easter egg. Could certainly have some goofy Easter eggs in there. A little Nike shoebox. I feel like Malcador got the raw deal, really. But hey, I don't think anyone particularly got a good deal during the heresy. Oof, Rabute forgot to dust the chair. That's a bit dark. I think I would like a reference to Malcador though. I do want to get a few references in and around the throne room. I also feel like I want it to be kind of mysterious in a way. Like I want to put some stuff in there that's not fully explained. Because when you're building something like the throne room, I think it's got that kind of mysticism to it. And I feel like I want to keep that, like Keep people asking questions. Could magnetize it? I could magnetize it. Again, I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to build another one of these. But either way, you know, could just kind of cover over the Emperor if I'm doing 30k games or whatever, or, well, not me, I won't be playing. Oh, and how many hours have you put into it so far, and how far are you from completion, do you estimate? So, we had this question earlier, a similar question, and I think as a percentage, I'm probably just over 50%, because there's still loads of painting to do. There's still a bit more building to do, because I haven't actually finished the middle wall section of the build. But yeah, I'd say we're just over halfway. There's still lots more to come. I mean, this piece alone that I'm working on, the throne, still has lots of hours to go into it. Because I've got to, what I want to do is pick out the detail on the purity seals, and also I want to highlight the skulls, and I've got loads of cables to do. I've still got to do all these cables. Going to be black and bolt gun coloured. I guess Chaos did kind of win, really. I mean, the Imperium at the moment is battered, so Chaos did kind of win. You guys can see all the funny faces that I pull when I'm painting. Maybe if I see any clips from this, I can see what kind of goofy faces I pull. I think I paint with my mouth open as well. Now I'm deliberately trying not to. Greetings, Crusher Mike. The machine spirit brought me here unprompted. Clearly the hand of the Emperor is evident. I think it is. It's divine intervention from the Emperor himself. He wants you to see him being created in 28mm scale, so he has brought you to us. Welcome. I don't know how many of you were brought here by YouTube or how many of you were brought here by Instagram, because I put up a post saying that I was going to try my hand at this on Instagram and see how well it comes out. Owen, the mood music is really good too. Spotify playlist. There isn't a playlist, but I have in the description. I have tagged Seb Kling, who does the music. He is really good at making atmospheric music. He's really good at making music. So if you want similar stuff, I suggest you check out his YouTube channel, and you can find loads of different stuff there. It's really good. And he has been kind enough to let me use his music as my background music. It's kind of cool too, because I've got it playing through the laptop, so I can listen to it and not feel like there's crippling silence in between talking. Singe brought you here, Chris. You are in the wrong place. You've come to the wrong stream, Chris. You and your Chaos Dragon. We'll have to convert you. We'll have to convert you to Space Marines. Crusher Mike, I was 180 degrees in the opposite direction, mate. A Pokemon video wrapped up. Well, you know, they're all hobbies, aren't they? You know, I used to collect Pokemon cards when I was a kid. I got plenty of them squirreled away somewhere. But yeah, it's interesting what suggests my content. My content. I don't like that word, content. It just sounds kind of mindless, but yeah, it's cool that you were brought here by a Pokemon video. Are you into Warhammer, or? I guess you are, if it's suggested. Sebastian, hey there, making research to plan building for my own Imperial Titan on YouTube and came there. Cool, well, I'm not sure how much we can help you with Titan building, but throne building we can help you with. But yeah, seriously, if you're after some inspiration, hopefully this helps. I mean, you're not seeing too much of the project at the moment, bar this part of the throne, and I do have another piece I brought with me, because I'm not in my studio. So let me show you, bear with me. Baba! Well, I have this piece. This is the backboard to the throne. Still needs to be shaded, still needs to be painted, let's be honest. And eventually, I know these two bits probably look like they're kind of, done, but I want much more, or I want a lot more cables, I do. I feel like these bits still need, look, you can see behind this, unpainted. There's still lots more bits to go on these, I think. Lots more cables and gribblies. Funny you say that. I used to play Blood Angels in 5th edition. That's cool. I'm trying to think of 5th edition. I think that was a time when I wasn't even in the hobby, to be fair. I think I got involved in 3rd and then just dropped out of it for years and years and years. Sebastian, looking nice already. Thank you very much. We still have loads to do on this, and I'm probably going to get a bit fanatical about making sure all the details are done. I've done a video quite a while back now, sort of mentioning how I painted all the bolts on every Zone Mortalis tile. So yeah, that's the level of obsessiveness you're going to get from this build, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. Probably going to be a bit of a bad thing in terms of how long it's going to take. Oh yes, Chris, that makes sense now. That's what brought it. Okay, well that's cool. Being related to that project or having this content suggested is cool, because I tune in to watch Eric's Titan build, and it's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it done. I know he recently put out a video talking about how he's going to get to work on it. But yeah, I think it's going to look really good. I think he should take as long as he needs, because yeah, it's going to be really cool. 7, it's a big boy. It would dwarf my build, like 7 feet tall. He did make the smart decision of building it in pieces though, so in the video you can see him take it apart, and I'm just watching it thinking, I should have done that. I should have made my board in a way that it can be taken apart. Yeah, they're really good, honestly. It's if anyone here for some reason hasn't watched Eric's Hobby Workshop, I suggest you go and do it, because it's really cool. So what about the giant machine with the cables reaching out of it, connected to something like a psychic hood that can feed all of those psychics into? Yeah, I mean, so if I show you guys, you might have noticed, actually I think he's off screen. Basically there is a little gap in between the throne and the backing of the throne. Now, I had this little piece, which sort of needs to be stuck down in between, but I feel like it could do with a bit more detail in there. So something like that would be quite cool, maybe a psychic hood. Or what else I was thinking is maybe just rolling some more green stuff cables and sort of tucking them up in between the throne and the back of the throne, because at the moment, to me, even though it's not like detrimental, I feel like the gap is a little bit too big, and I want the throne to feel, you know, beefy. I want it to feel like it's kind of ancient, lots of cables. Some of them you don't know what they do. So yeah, it's a good suggestion. It's a very good suggestion. Yeah, when I've completed this, will I make a life-size version? No, definitely not. I don't think I'm gonna build anything Golden Throne related or, you know, related to Terra. I'm not even sure what I would like to do after this build. I think it's probably going to be something big, but I'm not sure what. Or it might just be my huge backlog of miniatures that I have that are just looking at the Golden Throne and thinking, when is he going to paint me? When am I going to get my time? No time soon. $7 foot. Well, go for it, Sebastian. I think it'd be really cool. You know, because we've got these, we've got the Titan models that Forge World does, and they're pretty cool. You know, they're pretty big. But I think having something on the level of a Warlord Titan is really cool to see, and it makes you think in universe just how monstrous they must be. Chris, one of my mates built one, but it wasn't in pieces. Step ladder to paint it. I feel like me and your friend probably have some similarities. There are parts of the throne that I am not going to be able to bring up here to show you guys while streaming. There are bits that I am just worried about how I'm going to reach them. I feel like I'm going to need one of those Mission Impossible sort of ropes hanging down. I'm just going to have to hold my breath as I paint all these cables. But yeah, you know, we'll deal with that another time. We're not going to worry about that now. Yeah, well, that's the thing. These display pieces, you know, it's just such a cool thing to have, really. My mind is wandering. 100-foot tall Titan made with real skulls. I wonder how many skull kits you'd need for that. And underhide. See, I think Ghost, you've probably got the closest with what I have. You know, what I'm envisioning in my head. I've seen there's a guy, I want to get his name right now. I know he's a Neil. I get him confused with Neil Roberts because I bring up Neil Roberts so much. Basically on Instagram, he's Neil101, and he done this really, really cool like hive spire. I think he called it Bleak Spur, and it was just the coolest thing. I think it was one of the projects that I seen on Instagram when I first started exploring Instagram with hobbying, and I remember just like looking at, you know, kept looking at it because it was just so cool. And you know, I think that probably encouraged me, because I'm rambling. At the time, I was working on this version of the Golden Throne, which is much smaller. Like this is just on 2 Zone Mortalis tiles, and I remember seeing his stuff about that time, and I think that's why that when I finished this, I was like, I want to build something big. You know, I want to build something that takes up a lot of space. So yeah. Anyway, if you have Instagram, you should check his stuff out because it is very, very cool. I think he's quite low profile with it. Like he doesn't have a YouTube as far as I know with the content on, but you can see pictures of what it looks like, and it's very, very cool. Farsight, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm supposed to be painting skulls on this Golden Throne, but I've ended up just rambling and answering questions about it. I am going to try and do some more. I'd like to get a few more done before we call it a night. But yeah, thank you for joining. Are we all doing some hobbying this evening? Or are we about to start our day? I know a few of you have noticed how unprofessional this is, because instead of looking at the laptop for the chat, what I'm doing is looking at my phone, because I've managed to mess up the chat so I can't actually see it on the laptop. I'll try and sort that for the next one, I promise. Nice, yeah, you're doing yourself a favor, really, Rhino. It's good, and you know, if that kind of thing interests you, it's yeah, it's definitely going to be up your street. Use real skulls, no painting required. I could. I might get in trouble. Might be banned from the local graveyard after that if I get caught. I feel like it's getting there though, which is good. You know, at the beginning of the stream I sort of talked about how I put off painting this for so long because I was worried that I wasn't at a standard that was going to make it look good. But I feel like just, you know, pulling my finger out and diving into it is, or was, the best thing to do, because now I'm making some progress with it. And like, at the end of the day, it's probably not going to be perfect, but as long as I'm happy with it, I think that's all that matters, really. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. It is, yeah, it's cool to have double digits. All the other streams I've done in the past through my phone, which were bad, let's be fair, they were bad. Probably going to take them down. Yeah, I had like 3 people watching, so it's kind of cool to talk to you guys about what I'm doing. I could just ramble for days. Just avoid the question, yeah. What are you doing here at 2 o'clock in the morning? What's that in your hand? What's the bag for? Oh, it's just a Warhammer project. They're not real. Then what's the shovel for? Oh, I don't know, it was here when I got here. Clearly not using them. Yeah, I mean, you would be right. I think it might be a bit... Using any kind of real skulls in my project might be crossing a strange line. Do you collect custodies or have multiple armies? Owen. Well, Owen, you could be opening a can of worms with that, because I have lots of models. I have too many models. As you might be able to tell, I don't know if you were here for the impulse buy. Can't be trusted with my own money. Yeah, I've got lots of different armies. Basically, if I like a miniature, I'm gonna get it. I tend not to buy like big monsters and stuff and tanks so much, but like individual models. Like the last thing I bought was Saturnine. I got the Saturnine box sat around waiting to be painted. I've still got a Black Templar box that came out maybe 2 years ago that's waiting to be painted as well. But yeah, lots of armies, lots and lots of different armies, but most of my time is spent painting or building stuff for the throne. It is. What about yourself? What are you into? What do you collect? Or do you just sort of hang around the hobby? Because I know there's sort of people who are interested in the hobby, but don't actually have any miniatures. They're just interested in the lore or interested in what other people are building. So... You can actually have a custody named after you. I have offered some tiers for my channel, and what I intend to do, I mean, it's not obligatory in any way, and you don't have to. But basically, what I'm going to do is the custodies, the 300 for the throne room, I'm going to get little plinths that I can put beside them with people's names. So you can join and have one named after you, if that's up your street. Right, let's see, there's still like half of these skulls to do. And where I've been yakking too much, I've got a little bit of paint at the top. I used to collect Space Marines back in 7th edition, but moved out and couldn't afford to keep up. Thinking about starting Imperial Guard collection though. Yeah, I don't think you're alone there, to be fair. I think models have just got more and more expensive as time's gone on. But eBay is always good. Like if you want to start an army, and if you're prepared to do a little bit of work sometimes, if it's second-hand miniatures, you can get some pretty good stuff on eBay. Hence where that giant Realm of Battle board came from. Right. How long have we been streaming for even? I can't see because I'm useless at technology, but I think we've been here for a fair while. Must be coming up to an hour now, if not past an hour. I'd say we've got like a fair whack of these. Looking bone-like. So here's my question to you guys. Have you been following the project for a while, or are you fairly new? Because I know there's sort of a difference between the people on YouTube who watch my stuff and the people on Instagram, which is kind of funny how that works. New here. Well, welcome, Sebastian. It's cool to have some new faces. I've been working on this project for quite a while now. So we're trying to get it done. And this is all a new experience for me. Like doing a proper live stream is, it's new, it's cool. Ghost Rhino, I've been seeing you build the project for a while across the internet. First stream. Well, thanks for tuning into it again, Rhino. I tend to put stuff on Instagram, that being my main, and Reddit and TikTok. Yeah, I've stooped that low. I put stuff on TikTok too. So. Oh, what do we have? I just saw it recommended on the algorithm this evening. Good to jump on here. Hope you have a good evening, lad. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Owen. Thank you for stopping by. hopefully we can tempt you back again in future. Take a study. Milk, a bit more of a year since you were building the shitload of cables and wires for the throne. Yeah, it's funny because I've got all on my phone I've got all the pictures of the process of this build, and when I see the stuff from last year, when I see the pictures of how far it's come, like how much has been done, it's just kind of surprising. It doesn't feel like a year ago that I was working on sort of, cables and stuff for the bottom of the pyramid. Oh. You're probably still going to see more cables being added at some point because I don't feel like there's enough. I also have some really cool Forge World bits to add, like cables and stuff from a Titan that was kindly sent to me. I've got to be honest, I've been incredibly lucky when it comes to this project because I've had lots of support from the community. So I've been sent quite a few things that I've managed to include on the board, as well as like having Patreon supporters behind me, which has really helped like get the bits that I need. So I'm lucky as well, extremely lucky. Mike, I think I've been following you off and on for YouTube for about a year, maybe 2 years. Well, thank you for that, Mike. I think I'm a bit off and on myself when it comes to YouTube. Like I'll go through phases of putting videos up semi-regularly and then sort of get distracted or lose, not lose interest in the project, but lose interest in recording lots of things or recording what I do. But it's cool that you've been here for 2 years. You might have seen some of the really bad older videos I've done for my project that's behind. For this one, I started out doing maybe like 3-minute videos, I think, kind of talking about the building of that project, and I just thought they were really bad because I'm stood in front of the microphone and I don't really know what I'm saying, or I'm a bit nervous. So you might have caught them. They're quite old now. Just wanted to say the same. There's got to be enough cabling so that even the custodies will have to watch out not to trip. I think so. I think that's the optimal amount of cables that we're going to need. I'm thinking of putting some across. We've got the open space in the front of the diorama. We've got all those Zone Mortalis tiles. I think what I'm thinking of doing is rolling some cables and getting some little maybe connection points and having some wires come all the way across from the bottom of the pyramid and like going across the tiles basically. Because I want it to look kind of creepy. Like, what do all these cables do? So what do we think to the sound quality? Like, Mike, can we, am I clear, loud and clear? Because again, when I was setting this up, I felt like I'd done loads of sort of streams to myself, like 5-minute streams, just to practice and make sure it was okay. So I kind of want to make sure that it's fairly good, listenable. Yeah, that's another good suggestion, Mike. I know a few people have mentioned guitar strings, guitar wire, because I won't have to roll as many green stuff cables. I haven't tried it yet. I probably should. I like using green stuff as well because it kind of like it's malleable and I don't have to hold it in place. Like I can pre-roll everything and then just kind of bend it into where it needs to be. But I think I've got nothing to lose really, have I, from buying a pack of guitar string, guitar wire, and giving it a shot. Am I doing too much yapping and not enough skull painting? Probably yes. But as long as it's keeping you entertained, as long as you're enjoying the hangout. I'm wondering if when I've done this level of skulls that I might need to need to give them another coat, I think, because this is only a light coat. So I want to make sure that all that gold is covered. Yeah, I'm thinking of balancing out the videos on the channel with live streams as well, just because it gives me a chance to work on stuff and talk to you guys at the same time, and maybe it gives me a bit of a kick up the ass to get stuff done as well. I think sometimes like I said before, I get sort of distracted, so maybe this way we can stay on track. I wonder if anyone else is joining us after a Pokemon video. Who else is being suggested this live stream after a Pokemon video? It's funny because when I watch stuff on YouTube, I don't think I ever get recommended live streams. So it's funny to hear that some of you are getting recommended this after watching videos. Yeah, I think having some regular hangouts might be a good thing. Give me a chance to float some ideas with you guys beforehand. Something that I will have to show you guys next time is, I know we've mentioned what I'm going to put in the diorama. Something again that's been built for me for quite a while is this custom tech priest I have. It was built for me by a guy named Nerbster on Instagram, and he's a wizard with like kit bashing and green stuff. And you know, he's built me this custom tech priest, which is really, really cool. And I need to ping him up and put him on the board because he is just like top notch. I think I've got a photo of him on my Instagram somewhere. But yeah, like that's another sort of custom piece that I'm really looking forward to painting and bringing to life. And him, much like this, it's funny because I think I've been putting off painting it because I wanted to have a good paint job. And I think we're kind of, you know, I'm slowly starting to realize that I just need to get stuck in instead of leaving all these miniatures for later down the line till I feel like I'm in a position where I can paint them well. You know, I just got to do it. Just do it. Don't ask too many questions. Anyone else here doing any painting? Or is it just Have you all tuned in to watch me paint skulls? There's probably worse ways to spend a Saturday. See. Getting there. Have a look. Have a look. We're getting there. On the right side, yeah. We're getting there. See, I don't know. I'll show you guys again because I put quite a few little details on the front of this. I don't know again if they'll come up in the camera, but I think I'll need to get better lighting. But I've put some Custodes transfers on the front of this as well. Just today I was working on my Sector Imperialis stuff, but half of my paint's dried out during, so I'll have to wait another day. That sucks. I think it's, you know, something about these pots. Something about these pots and the design is not great. Like, for my ones, a few of them have dried out as well, because the paint tends to get stuck back here and build up, and then the air gets in, and then you've got to spend more money on more paints. I think I'm in the dropper bottle brigade. I think dropper bottles would be a better design for the paint. Thank you, Sebastian. I'm trying to, I've tried to incorporate quite a few like transfers and details and stuff. I was in two minds because I've gone for, again, like I know this isn't going to come out very well on the camera, but I'll take some photos and put them online. I went for a kind of glowing effect for some of the machinery. It's done without an airbrush, and I know it's probably not as good as some other people can do, but I feel like it's come out quite well. It's quite successful, so I'm happy. It's quite nice to be able to look at something you're painting and say that you're happy with it, because I know on a fair few occasions I look at something I've painted and I go, oh, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. So not having that for once is, it's quite nice. Why am I painting the front? I'm supposed to be painting the side. But yeah, for those of you watching, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, yada yada yada, all that spiel where people go, oh, subscribe. But yeah, I mean, if you want to tune into another live stream, or you just want to see how the project is going, it's a good way of staying informed. I just don't like doing all the spiel where it's like, subscribe. Absolutely, I have some Citadel paint pots that have a little gap in the lid and it just ruins everything. Yeah, it's just the design. I'm pretty sure it happened with the old design of pots they had before, like the bolter shell kind of ones that GW did. It's funny that they kind of, haven't really moved on from that, to be fair. I don't know whether it's true, but I heard probably a Balrac video, I guess, about potential dropper bottles, which I think would be really good. I think it would be a step in the right direction. So with any luck, we move towards that. Is there anyone else you guys enjoy watching? Like, or is there any suggested stuff that I should be watching? Because, I've mentioned that I watch Zorp, Eric's Hobby Workshop. Who else do I watch? I think in terms of building stuff, it's mainly just those two guys, to be fair. But yeah, is there anyone else I should be watching? because it's good to get some inspiration, and not just inspiration, it's good to pick up some like tips as well when it comes to painting. Because I know I've undertaken this huge build, but I'm not, you know, I'm always open to learning new techniques. I don't think I know it all, because I definitely don't. I had to watch a video about airbrushing. When I got my airbrush for this, I finally invested in one that's decent, Harder and Steinbeck one. I had to go on and watch a video because I ordered it, and straight out of the box, it wasn't working, or there's something I wasn't doing right. And I basically watched the video about how to sort of use it and set it up properly, and you know, eventually got the hang of it. So, you know, there's still stuff I need to learn, even though I've been in this hobby now for quite a while. If this stream abruptly ends, I apologise. It's because we're running off of the camera battery, and I'm not really sure how much that has left now, but I'm going to need to order a plug-in one so I can just stream for as long as I want. But yeah, you've all joined me at first stream amateur hour, so, you know, welcome. I think we had a peak of like 31 people, so that was pretty cool. It's definitely like quadruple the amount of people I've had in the past with my awful phone stream. Definitely looking forward to the day that I can show some of you guys this build. It'd be nice to have like a con or something that I could bring it to, because I feel like after spending all this time on it, I'd like some of you guys to see it in person. I know realistically not all of you can see it in person, but it'd be cool to you know, to set it up somewhere so you guys can come and see it, really. Sometimes I feel like the pictures that I take for Instagram don't necessarily do the size of it justice. Because when you see it in person, it's pretty big. I've got a Space Marine for scale in some of my Instagram videos, so if you're curious, you can find examples there. You know, I put a bunch of links in the description, but I didn't put a link to my Instagram. But you can find me under the same name that I use for YouTube anyway, if that's of interest. I'm going to have to engage proper shrimp mode when it comes to adding some parchment or adding some writing to these purity seals. I need to do it. I need to do it for detail's sake, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be in shrimp mode and holding my breath as well, probably. Hand is fairly steady today, which is good, so I haven't really made a mistake yet, which I'm surprised about. Any 40k video game Video game you're playing? Which ones? Like Dawn of War? Ah, okay. Well, I mean, it's a pretty obvious one, like Space Marine 2, I guess. I've played that through twice. I really enjoyed that, actually, and I'm looking forward to the second one. I'm hoping that with the second one, the developers, keep it a similar length. What I don't want to see, and what worried me slightly, is that how early they showed off, they teased Space Marine 2, and I'm just hoping that the same amount of effort goes into it. I'm sure it will, but yeah, that game was really good. This is going to be blasphemy, and it's the first time you guys will probably hear this, but I have never played Dawn of War. I've never really had a gaming PC, so I've never had the luxury of experiencing Dawn of War. I'd like to at some point. I hear it's really good. It's like a cult classic for people into Warhammer. And one more while we're at it is I think technically it's a bad game, but I really like the environments for it. Was Hired Gun for Necromunda. I wouldn't recommend you spend whatever they're asking for it at the moment. Like, I'd get it if it was on sale, and that's purely from the standpoint of just this, like, going around and seeing the level design and the scenery. The story starts off okay and then just kind of drops off. But yeah, it's still kind of, I still enjoy it. I played that through twice, and that was mostly just walking around and looking at the details and everything. But from a story standpoint, no. Maybe a horse head at the bottom of the throne. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't know about that. I know you're joking. I still got to finish my marble statues. I've got all these little marble statues on top of the plinths, and I got to go back because I managed to get the effect right. I'm using that effect where you dry a sort of like a wet wipe, and you pull it apart, and then you put it over the statue, and then spray like white and black and everything for a kind of marble effect. So I managed to get that right, but I think to finish it off, what I've been doing is I've been using Apothecary White, I think, which is a contrast paint, and I've been going over the white areas because it gives it a bit more depth, and then on top of that I'm using like a satin kind of varnish to make it look like a kind of semi-shiny marble. But yes, reminded me I need to do them. I mean, there's loads I need to do, but that's something I want to do. I mean, if they went to dropper bottles, wouldn't the fact that everyone's paint doesn't dry out have the popular? Yeah, I mean, you're right. You are right, Mike. And I don't know. Like, sometimes I don't know whether the design flaws there for things are deliberately. I'd like to think that they're not, but unfortunately, this day and age, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? JD in the Sump Sea has a Sump Wall series that might be worth checking out. Okay, that's cool, Mike, because I'm always looking for things to watch, so I will make a note of that. In fact, what I'll do is screenshot what you said, because I know my brain will forget if I don't make a note. And that is actually, like, Necromunda stuff is something that I'm quite interested in. So I think, the next project might have something to do with Necromunda. There's lots of cool scenery kits for Necromunda. Not just that, there's lots of cool designs that people have done that you can get on, like, I guess it's called 3D. So yeah, the endless fun I could have with that. I feel like, if anything, if I do a Necromunda project, it gives me a chance to go a bit more ham with things, because when I'm working on this Golden Throne, I'm trying to make sure that everything is like detailed and kind of precise. And I feel like with an Underhive, you can just go ham, because you can have dirt and grime and dust and everything, and it doesn't need to be 100% perfect. So yeah, I think I'll have some fun with them. But yeah, sump wall sounds good. I've also seen, see, look, I'm just about to get the paint on the miniature, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I've seen. I don't think it's the same thing, but there's a picture of a wall going around, like a kind of high wall that I've seen online. I don't know who, I can't remember who's done it, but that looks pretty cool. It might be the same thing, but I'll certainly check it out. I'm very impressed that this stream has just consistently stayed on double digits. I thought it was just gonna boom, straight into the ground. But yeah, thank you for joining me. If anything, it's nice for me to have a bit of company, really. Sounds kind of lonely, doesn't it? But it's nice. My online hobby friends. Yeah. But what do we think the consensus is? Do you reckon you guys would tune into another stream? Should I do some more, like, should I build in front of you guys as well as do the normal videos that I make? God, I stutter a lot. Too much going on in my brain. But yeah, I'd like to share the progress with you guys and maybe bring some more bits and bobs up here and you know, work on them in front of you. Close that for a bit. Just realised that paint has been open for a long time. Us talking about dry paint, and I'm gonna have a pot of dry paint. Michael, hi, amazing work. Will there be an Emperor miniature sitting on the throne? Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining. Yes. So we mentioned this earlier in the stream. We are going to have a little Emperor. Well, he's going to be a bigger Emperor than the last one. Sat on the throne. He's going to be kit bashed. We're going to use green stuff. We're going to use bits of the Rabute Gilliman kit. We're also going to use bits of the Abaddon kit, believe it or not. And probably just some bits from my bits box. But yeah, he's going to look kind of withered, so I'm going to use the head of Rabute Gilliman and probably cut off his nose and make him look kind of skeletal-like, I think. So yeah, eventually he's going to be sat on this throne. So maybe at some stage you will see me sat here picking out the details on him instead of painting these skulls. Milk, super chill so far. Definitely wouldn't complain about more streams in the future. Well, thank you, Milk. It's nice to have you here with me. I think if anything, like, it's a big shout out to Seb because the background music I feel like is very fitting for sort of 40k. He's got some other really cool stuff which I'm gonna see if I can use on my streams in the future. He's doing all the heavy lifting. I'm just sat here painting. Here is Chris Painting Corner. Do all the YouTubey things. Please like, follow, subscribe. Love watching. Steal some of your tricks. Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. I don't know if I sort of like touched on it earlier because I'm fairly new to this. What I don't want to do is have a bunch of you guys like start watching and then just be like really like, guys, subscribe and comment and share and do all that stuff. Because I'm worried it's going to put you off. Because I know, you know, a lot of you guys sort of just are here for the project. And what I don't want to be doing is constantly asking people to subscribe and like and share and stuff. I'm just worried it'll put everyone off. But maybe I'll do it conservatively and not ask too many times. Thanks, Michael. If I do, well, I think I will do some more streams. What I'll probably do is share the process of it, and maybe get some input from you guys as well. See what works, see what doesn't work. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we just got to get past this hurdle first and get this painted, and then we can move on. I think what I'll do as well is probably maybe run some streams in the early afternoon, I think. Just because when it comes to natural light and stuff, like for this it's not too bad working under artificial lights and everything. It's not too bad because I'm just basing skulls. But I think when it comes to some of the other details, what I'm going to end up doing is doing some streams at different times of the day, because it would be a bit more beneficial for like picking out the details and making sure that everything is looking good. So I feel like when you paint something, I don't know if any of you have noticed this, it might just be me, but when you paint something under artificial light and then see it in daylight, it doesn't look how you envisioned it to look. I don't know if that's just me, but in the past I've definitely painted things during the night or when it's dark, and then I look at them in the next morning and I'm like, oh, that needs some more work. Been following you for some time, love the progress, greetings from Belgium. Well, that's cool, thank you very much. It is cool to know where people come from. Because I think YouTube gives me like a rough idea, it'll tell me, it's usually like America, and I think Germany is one that I get a fair few viewers from. That's cool. I think you're the first viewer from Belgium that I'm aware of. All are welcome. Okay, I think we're going to do a little bit more. See if we can do a little bit more shape cam. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got one of those, what's it like, the posh shakers, the ones they use in science labs. I've got one of them down in the studio, just haven't brought it up here. I think I might do that. Shake up the pigment, feeling really lazy. Can't be bothered to use my hands, my arms. Poland, that's cool as well, wow. It's cool to have have you guys from different parts of the world, like we're all interested in the same hobby, all nerding out. I don't think I've actually met any of you in public either, which is something else. Like I did have an instance where I was told that someone was wearing like one of the shirts that I done. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it'd be nice in future to sort of meet some of you and chew your ear off about the project. Sebastian, France. Sorry, I missed that. France as well. Milk, for me it's the opposite. The place I'm painting in has super bad... look, I can't even read. For me it's the opposite. The place I'm painting at has super bad painting, and I was frustrated. Last week I had my first ever tournament and my stuff suddenly looked 4 times better to me. Well, that's pretty good though. I think, I think that's not mutually exclusive either. I think sometimes when you take a step back from what you're painting, because here's an example. Look, I'm on a tangent now. I'm gonna chew your ear off about this. So I painted earlier last month. Okay, again, this might not come out very well, so apologies if it doesn't. Yeah, you can't really see that much. But basically, I painted this iron snake, and when I had finished it, I looked at it, and I was like, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But what I'd done was I put it away on the shelf and then looked at it again a few days later, and I was kind of happy with how it looked. So I feel like sometimes maybe you can sort of criticize your own work a bit too heavily when you just finish something. So yeah, maybe both of us need to give it some time once we've finished painting something. Switzerland. We've got the European crowd this evening. That's really cool. Mike, so maybe a bit too much of the grimdark aesthetic, but you were mentioning purity seals earlier. What about printing some teeny tiny text off? Mod Podge on. It could work. It could work. I know that some of the transfers. So, oh no. Oh. Oh no, it's kaput. Is it? Can you guys still see me, or has that camera decided to die? Yeah, it has. Okay, well. So, you're probably staring at a black screen right now. That's because the camera in the battery in the camera has just decided to die. So, the first thing I'm going to do is order a battery that plugs in. So, that being the case, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream here, and I think we'll have to pick this up sometime in the week. So I'm really sorry about that. Alright, I will put that on chat. Let me just put that on chat again. You've come for the professional content. But I'd like to hang out with you guys again. So I think what we're going to do oh yeah, the microphone still seems to be coming up. Oh, you still hear me? Okay. Well, again, guys, thank you very much for joining me. It's been cool to have you all here. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to order that battery so we can stream for much longer, because, you know, I could have done some more. But we'll get that sorted out, and if you are not following, again, do all the follow stuff, and I will put a post up on Instagram and all the other socials of when I'm going to do another stream. So thank you very much, guys, and I will see you soon.